It's Platt, and today I show you how to make snack sticks. So let's go. So over the last few months, I've done several videos on making beef jerky. It's kind of my newest hobby. We started off with just a base beef jerky using, I believe it was top round. Then I made beef jerky using ground beef. I made turkey jerky. We even tried to make alligator jerky. Didn't turn out so well, but we did make alligator jerky. I've made jerky in the oven. I've made jerky with a dehydrator. I've used one of these seasoning kits. We've also done some old school marinades. I've even did a video on how to use one of these jerky guns. So, natural progression, keep building. I thought today I would do a couple of new things. First and foremost, we're going to make snack sticks. Kind of like what you buy at convenience stores, similar to Slim Jim. Now, I do want to mention real quick on snack sticks, there's two varieties of snack sticks. They're made either with or without the casing. It's a collagen casing, similar to a casing you would get for sausage making, if you know anything about sausage making. So those are two main type of snack sticks. What we're going to make today is without the casings. I'll eventually do a video where I make a snack stick with casings. But today we're going to do it without the casings, just because it's a little easier and it's one less thing you would need. Also, the other thing we're going to do a little different today is I'm going to use ground bison. Bison or buffalo, whatever the term you want to use. It's actually really good to make jerky because it's low in fat. I've talked about in other videos that you don't want too much fat in your meat. If you're doing ground beef, you want to find at least a 90-10 ratio. Too much fat adds flavor, but it also increases the possibility of spoilage. Fat could go rancid on you, and you just don't want that. It makes it tougher to dehydrate, so we want a lean meat, and bison is a really, really lean meat, tasty meat too, if you've ever had a bison steak, what have you. So that's what we're going to use today. We're going to do a 1 pound batch. I'm going to use the seasoning kit that I've done a video on. I'll leave the link down below for all the stuff in this video if you want to get any of this stuff if you don't have it. But we're going to use this seasoning kit. It's just the original blend from High Mountain Seasonings. We are going to have a little twist though. I'm going to throw in a little bit of chili powder, spice it up, kick it up a little bit. We're also going to use the jerky gun to make our sticks. We in the past, if you're using top round, you just cut it whatever shape you want. With ground beef, you can just roll it in balls, flatten it out. Use a pizza cutter, cut it in strips, what have you. But we're going to use the jerky gun on this, and I real quickly want to talk about. In my kit, I got several attachments. I want to talk about the stick attachments on this. I got, for lack of a better term, I guess the double barrel snack stick attachment, and it's has a little wider diameter. So I'm not going to use it for this one just because of that. I'll make a thicker stick, but that also means it'll have to cook a little bit longer to get everything cooked inside. So we're going to avoid that for this time, but I will eventually use this. And then I'm going to use this longer attachment. It's a little more narrow, but what this attachment's for, it can be used for regular snack sticks, but it's also for the snack sticks that has the collagen casing. You would slide the casing down this and then tie it off and what have you. But this longer attachment is for those snack sticks with the casing, but we can use it for our purposes today, which is what we're going to do. Well, with that being said, let's get to making some snack sticks. Alright, so we're starting off with 1 pound of ground bison. As you can see on the meat, you don't see a lot of marbling, you don't see a lot of fat. This is a really lean meat, which again is what we're looking for. We are going to start off with our cure. And we're going to use 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, teaspoons of our cure. This is a preservative. This will help our jerky or our snack sticks specifically be more shelf stable. Next, we're going to use our seasoning pack. We're going to do 2.5 teaspoons of that. You can use, again, if you wanted to produce your own marinade, feel free. You don't have to use these kits. They just make your life a little easier. Also, too, great thing is these kits, we're using dry ingredients instead of, you know, a traditional beef jerky or whatever. You use Worcestershire or you could use Worcestershire, soy sauce, you know, salt, pepper, but you generally would throw in some liquid ingredients. It was called for 2.5 teaspoons. I forgot the half teaspoon. Anyway, you could use, you know, Worcestershire, soy, what have you, but those are liquid ingredients, and you would end up kind of patting the meat, you know, drying off the meat. Have to. So this just makes your life a little easier. And I'm just going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. We don't want to get too crazy, but just kick her up a notch. And then we are going to use my wash clean hands, and we're just going to mix the ingredients. We're going to make sure we get all that mixed together. You want to get your hands right in there, get after it. Make sure we get that coated and spread out. We want, you know, even flavor, even seasoning, and just get this nice mixed in. Oh, that's a great color on that bison. It really looks nice. All right, I want to get this all mixed in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in a freezer or a Ziploc container, and I'm going to let this sit overnight. You can let this sit as little as a few hours or overnight. I like letting it sit overnight, really just absorb that flavor. Also, too, just makes it easier on, you know, time-wise. It'd be kind of tough to do all this, then let it sit for a few hours, then, you know, start to dehydrate. So we're going to let this sit overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and put it in our jerky gun and make our sticks, get them in the dehydrator. All right, gang, so it's the next day, and we've allowed our bison to marinate overnight. Now we're ready to go ahead and load our dehydrator. I went ahead and loaded the jerky gun. I have my stick attachment. Real quick, I want to talk about a couple of accessories. If you get one of these jerky guns, a couple of accessories will make your life a little bit easier, especially, again, dealing with the ground beef. Little attachment here that you put at the end of the gun. It's kind of like a funnel, but it's going to make your life easier when loading that gun, just because, again, you're kind of dealing with a loose form of meat or whatever. It's just going to make your life a little easier with this funnel. And also, my kit came with a little tamping tool. Just helps you to press down, helps you to get those air pockets out. You don't want pockets of air in there. Especially when we move to the next level and start doing snack sticks with casings on there. You don't want air bubbles in that casing, and then, you know, to cook or dehydrate the meat with that pockets air in there. So those are two little tools that you can use just to make your life a little simpler. Again, avoid the air pockets, make it easier to load this gun. I'm going to start loading my trays. Get the air out, and then there we go. And I'm going to do it like this just to make little shorter sticks. You could go circularly around and just make one long stick. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make, you know, little snack size sticks. One thing to remember, and I've talked about in other jerky videos, you can have these sticks touching, but you don't want them overlapping, because that makes it a little thicker. You'll get some spots that don't thoroughly dehydrate or cook all the way through, and we're wanting to definitely avoid that. So I'm going to keep making these small strips, and then we'll go ahead and put into our dehydrator. Now, depending on the type of dehydrator, this dehydrator is just a simple dehydrator. It's one sitting, I believe 160 degrees. Other dehydrators, temperature range will be from the low 100s up to 160, 165. Because we're using ground meat, you'll want to have it at the highest setting, whether it's 160, 165, somewhere around there. And that's what we have. But if you have a dehydrator that has those temperature settings, then this is set to the highest. If you do this in the oven, which is always an option, around 170 degrees there, depending on how low your oven can go. If you could go to 160, use that, but I believe this oven 170 is the lowest it could go. So that's in on temperature. Let me get this rack finished. Then I'm going to start our, after I get the rack going, I'll start our dehydrator. We're going to come back at the 4-hour mark. That's been kind of generally where we've been finishing a lot of our jerky at. It's been taking around 4+ hours. I got a feeling this is going to take a little longer because it's a little thicker piece of meat, the way we're using the attachment. So we'll come back to the 4-hour mark, check on it, and then see how much longer we'll need. So I'll be right back. All right, so it's been 4 hours, and I turned off the dehydrator. I actually have to admit, I'm a little surprised. I said earlier that I thought this was going to take well over 4 hours because of the shape. It was going to be a little bit thicker, and I thought it was going to take more time than the kind of the standard 4 hours, but I was wrong. I checked this about an hour ago just because it's smelling good. You know, I kind of come by after 2-3 hours just give it a check, and the sticks already had a firmness to it that I was kind of surprised about, and everything. And I think why this is because bison's such a lean cut of meat. There just wasn't that much fat. Again, we don't want a ton of fat in our meat, and this was a lean cut. The fat wasn't there to keep rehydrating the meat. The stick shriveled up a little bit. Like I said, just came out faster than I thought. Probably helped that I had these smaller snack stick attachments to the bigger one. That's probably another reason why it came out faster. But good for us, came out faster. Now's the moment of truth. Let's give her a try. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is good. Plenty of saltiness, plenty of just kind of that meaty, salty, savory kind of flavor. This is not spicy, but I do pick up some of that pepper, a little bit of that chili powder. It's just a nice combination of saltiness, savoriness, a little bit of pepper, a little spice, just a rainbow of flavors, for lack of a better term. You know, there are times in your life that you'll always remember. That first kiss, when you lose your virginity, your first Miltillis album, whatever. But I'm going to remember this night because these sticks, man, they are good. We're definitely going to do some bison again. Real quick recap, we took 1 pound of ground bison, we added our jerky seasoning, we used our snack stick attachment. You can make regular jerky or the strips too and get a similar result. We let this sit for 4 hours. This dehydrator sit for around 160 degrees. Again, you don't want to use the low sitting if you have a dehydrator. And after 4 hours, we've got delicious snacks. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.